Hello everybody, welcome back to Astralladytarot. My name is Anna and I make videos about tarot and all things related. Now, all things related is expanding a little bit. Don't know if you've noticed, but today I am going to do a reaction video to Dior's Haute Couture Spring Summer 2021 collection. They made this incredible, beautiful, high production short movie, you could say, with their Spring Summer collection of 2021, which is this year. And it's all inspired by this very old tarot deck, which used to be playing cards, really. It's the Visconti-Sforza tarot deck. It's the oldest surviving tarot card deck, and it's actually so old that none of the decks survived fully, so there are some cards missing. And nowadays, of course, they're mostly used for divination, the way that I like to use the tarot cards. There are many different systems these days, and if you want to learn more about the tarot and how to read the cards and what you can do with them, then you can check out my other videos. So without further ado, let's watch the Dior video. Dior is presenting Le Château du Tarot, which means the castle of tarot, of the tarot. Is it just me, or does her shuffling need practice? I really like this intro. Everything looks so amazing. The colors already look very good. So they've made, of course, this pack of tarot cards look very old. They are speaking French. I am half French, so I can translate some stuff for you. She is asking the model, Qu'est-ce que tu veux savoir? What do you want to know?
Qui suis-je?
And I just love this. This really shows that they have combined something very deep with fashion. Her question is, Qui suis-je? Who am I?
Choisis une carte.
Choisis une carte, choose a card. And of course, the papesse comes up, which is an old Marseille type system, or like pre-Golden Dawn system, high priestess. We're talking about intuition, we're talking about that inner knowledge, we're talking about that almost sacred, divine duality, actually. It's not just about you and what you can do, it's you interacting with the universe. And here we see the papesse in real life, you could say. So she has this, her hand on this sacred book, which probably was the Bible, and then she is showing us this key. So she has the key, and it's like the papesse is giving the model, I don't know how else to call her, this beautiful young lady who has the lead role in this video. She is giving her the key to this castle, the key to the kingdom, as in, come in, step inside. The music is very mysterious, it's very calm. I love old buildings, I love anything old. And this is apparently that beautiful castle of the tarot that she is stepping into. Can somebody tell me where this castle is? Because it's a real place, isn't it? She's walking through these hallways, dimly lit, and there is this figure that she sees. It's actually the same model, but with this short black hair. They don't meet yet, but there's this glimpse of mystery, I guess. Maybe even a glimpse of recognizing, I know you type of thing. This is the first card that she actually gets to meet, and it's Justice, la justice. And she doesn't let her pass with her sword. So justice usually has the sword of truth, you could say, and decision making, really cutting these cords and making these tough decisions. And of course, it's connected to truth. Swords in the tarot are usually connected to the mind. And she has these scales, which is a balance. Now, there are many different depictions of justice, and Maat is a goddess who weighs your heart against a feather, and your heart has to be as light as that feather if you wish to move on. If you can balance it, then you can pass. And here we see this little happy birdie, kind of annoying but still fun, little fool coming around the corner. I actually like this depiction of the fool. I actually get this little bird feeling from this interpretation of the fool, but it's also very childlike. And I don't know if you noticed, but I think that what's on her top is actually a black dog. And the Fool in the tarot cards is often depicted with a dog, or in even older decks, cats. Not sure if that's actually what they went for, but that's just the connection that I made. And the Fool is there to help her choose the right one. This person who played the Fool is so talented. I don't know if they are a model or an actor or dancer, but it seems like they can do it all. I can just tell in their facial expressions and everything, and telling a story without any words. It's really good. It's very playful and whimsical, but it's very believable still. Love that part. Ah, we are meeting the Hanged Man. I feel that here they may have used the more contemporary meaning or interpretation of the Hanged Man, which is most often because the Hanged Man is upside down, is hanging upside down. This means that you need to look at your situation or at this particular thing from a different perspective, which is what is happening here, which is how she sees that gap in the wall and how she can, find her way through this maze in this beautiful building. Of course, it would have been a little bit harder to include a interpretation that is about sacrifice, for instance. And here we have La Tempérance, which is temperance. And you can really see the background. It's really like those visconti-sforza tarot cards. This is the background, very beautiful gold and intricate. Seems like we're going in order here because temperance in the tarot is major arcana number 14, and then the devil is 15. And here she meets the devil. In this case, I feel it very much represents what we often call kind of like lower energies or lower feelings, which I don't necessarily agree with, but it's about, I think, lust, and there's a little bit of shame there and fear, but also excitement. That's what I'm seeing, at least. You can definitely tell that she is intrigued and enticed by this devil creature, but also a little bit intimidated, at the same time comforted, because we all have that side. And the devil is embracing her. Guess we skipped the tower, which is arcanum number 16, and we are moving to arcanum number 17, which is the star, which is under this beautiful dome of stars. Now, the star is often about hope and trusting the path and really going for that future, kind of like having a goal in mind, like the Northern Star, you could say, where you can kind of like navigate your life here on Earth to walk this new path. It's so magical. Okay, I really like this transition because after the star, which is all magical, and we are talking about dreams that we have for the future, we are delving into this slumber, into this sleep of the moon. And the moon is all about those subconscious, unconscious dreams. There's also a lot of fear that we're talking about at this stage of the tarot process, which is kind of like a book of life, you could say. But I really like that they made her fall asleep and then wake up in the moon card. It's so nice the way they did this, because what they did here is just made that moon a part of her hair, or made it into her hair. Okay, so she's following her, and it's such a beautiful dress. It's such a beautiful everything. I have always been, though, more appreciative of architecture than fashion, although I guess that you can implement architecture into fashion, of course. I understand that, but I'm gushing over this beautiful building. So, anyway, here she finds this other self, which is waiting for her in the pool, yet death arrives, la mort. Now, the symbolism that I see here is that death takes off her current self, her current clothes, and so she's taken off this skin like a snake. She is being reborn. And then, of course, birth, death, and birth is also very connected to water, which is where she's stepping into now to find her other self. So here she is shedding her old skin. I like this moment, even though there is no third person present in this moment where I feel they went with the l'amoureux card. The lover's card is very much about choice and who are you going to be after this point. It's a part of growing up, you could say. So beautiful. I feel that this water is, this bath, you could say, is like a womb where this person is, yeah, being reborn and finding themselves again in equal parts of opposites. They can very much make a whole. And looking towards us, the ending here feels a little bit cut short, although I feel that we're actually seeing fragments. I don't feel we're seeing the whole thing. We're also missing tarot cards. But if the story were to end here, which I believe is l'amoureux, the lovers, or actually to be more accurate, the lover, singular, I feel that this is really about answering the question that she asked the tarot reader. Who am I? Qui suis-je? And she is finding this other opposite self of her, and they are merging into one. So it's really, I think, about self-acceptance and self-renewal, self-love. Okay, so here are the cards. Le Fou. I could translate what they said underneath the title of the card, but it's about the clothes, and I don't know if I have the right English vocabulary to really translate that well. Le Fou actually is, most of the time, I'm not sure if this is the case in this particular deck, but most of the time it's actually the card without number, the unnumbered arcanum. This means that we are actually, as the reader or as the person asking the card, you could say that we embody the Fool, because the Fool goes on this journey and can really be put anywhere in the deck since there's no number and all the other cards are numbered. Sometimes the Fool is in newer decks numbered 0, sometimes it's 22, which is the last major arcana. Usually it's the world or the universe as number 21. Sometimes the Fool is even placed, I believe, between the Sun and the Judgment card. Now, what this means is, well, a lot of things, but I think in this particular movie, it's about this free spirit that can just fit in anywhere and actually even guides us through every step of the adventure. Here we have La Papesse, which we've seen in the very beginning. Now, this was actually quite controversial of these older decks because there is no such thing as a Papesse. There is a Pope, but there's no Papesse. In later traditional decks, the Pope became the Hierophant and the Papesse became the High Priestess or the Priestess. And here, of course, we have La Mort, death, which is actually the unnamed arcanum. So we see death depicted in the tarot card, but it's not called death. Death is a title that came in later decks. So we do say this is la mort, this is death, but it doesn't mean death. It actually is all about transformation, which actually they've done really well with this. It's a very simple gesture, but there is so much symbolism in there when death takes off the person's dress, and then it's like shedding that old skin, being transformed, being renewed, stepping into a new part of life, you could say. Because death is not the end, otherwise death would be the last arcanum, and it's not, it's 13. The card doesn't mean death, the card means transformation and rebirth, actually. Here they're showing a card we haven't seen in the video, which makes me think that this is just like a compilation of the best moments maybe that they want to share, and maybe they've actually made a longer movie with all the cards of the tarot. This is l'impératrice, which is the empress, looking indeed very regal. All right, so here we have l'amoureux. La Force, beautiful strength card or fortitude card. She is standing next to a statue of an animal. I think it's a lion, but it looks kind of boar-like to me as well. La Route Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune. I like that they have made her, or the deck probably made her kind of blind, because this card usually is seen as the card where we have the least impact on. It's just the cycles of life. Well, I mean, I'm interpreting with my 2021 brain, of course. These cards were made in the 15th century, so they're really old. And of course, as I said in the beginning, were used to play a game called the tarot, I think, and not for divination at all, or for, you know, that self-development that we use the tarot for now. It's very psychological, actually. Here we have the battleur, which is the magician or the magus, but actually it's really the trickster. It's often seen in that way as well in older decks, just because this person looks like a street artist. All of these symbols, really, that each card of the tarot, and here we are focusing on the major arcana, which are 22 cards. These symbols were so well known by everyone, I believe, in those times, that you didn't need any explanations. You knew that the Empress would trump the Papess. You knew that the devil would trump temperance. At least I imagine that that is how they played this game. This must be the sun. Yeah, the soleil. Very radiant indeed. And that's it. Okay, so what did you think of this? I know I didn't talk a lot about the fashion, but that's not what I do. That's not my strength. What I know is the tarot, and I hope that you enjoyed this and maybe even learned a little something, or something piqued your interest about tarot or other type of spiritual tools. Whether you came for the fashion side of this, whether you came for the tarot side of this, please leave a comment and let me know what you thought of all of this. Also, don't forget to inform me if you know where that beautiful building is located in the world. If I ever get to visit this beautiful place, then I will be disappointed that there are no living tarot cards walking the halls. And also, I would kind of love to know if there's a longer version of this with all the other cards that we haven't seen. Anyway, I think that's it. This is a beautiful tarot deck. This is a beautiful production, and I really liked the way that they implemented all this symbolism into this kind of a short video. It's around 14 minutes, so that was pretty cool. I hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed this very much. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to react on. I am a professional tarot reader. I do tarot readings face-to-face and online. I also have a Patreon and an Instagram, and on YouTube is where I interact with most of you, so it would be great for me to hear if there's anything else you'd like to see on this channel. All right, that's it. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you all next week.